Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Devil's Den Hockey. The New Jersey Devils lose to the Calgary Flames after playing simultaneously some of really great hockey and immediately turning it into the biggest collapse of any single team in the NHL that I have watched in years. So, it does not matter what the score is. I don't care who scored for our guys. I don't care who got assists. I don't care about plus minus. I don't care about, quite frankly, any individual effort on this team. Because tonight, after a loss like that, we the fans have a right to flame their asses, pun intended, over the piss poor excuse of a finish. If you are a Devils player on this team tonight, you deserve to go back into the locker room and be torn limb from freaking limb by Keith, by Hischier, and by yourselves. How do you play 40 minutes of hockey where it feels like in every single moment you dominate the game? How is it that you outshoot the Flames? And not just in one period, but in two. How is it that you outshoot the Flames, you outbody the Flames, you out-energize the Flames, and you end up scoring more than the Flames to the point where you're up 3-1. It is the third period, and you just decide that you've had enough hockey today. That you just think to yourselves, well, time to pack it up. Let's go home. Game's over. How do you do the things that you do and then turn in such a miserable lack of shit given to the third period to a team that is hungering for a playoff spot? With Calgary trying to get every single point they can from here to the end of the year as they scratch, claw, and beg for a playoff position. And we're over here going, nope, I don't care. None of it matters. We're going to be in the playoffs whether we lose half our games or not. How do you go from being the Devils that in recent memory over the last 10 games have played overall pretty damn freaking good, but instead tonight decide I only need to play 40 minutes of hockey. Tonight, I don't have to give a shit for a third of the game. Explain to me how our defense, who I thought in the first and in the second periods played phenomenally. They were clearing pucks out of Markstrom's way. Everything was going to the boards. Nothing was being dangled in front. They were playing mature and fantastic defense. The forwards skated like lightning, got pucks to the net, and forced Wolf, who was up for the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year, to make some absolutely Martin Brodeur, Patrick Waugh, Dominic Hasek style saves to keep the Flames in the game. How do you play so freaking well and then decide, I don't give a shit? You deserve to get your asses flamed. You deserve to go into that locker room, take off your gear, and look at the ground while you do so, because I don't want to see a single one of these Devils looking up and making eye contact with anybody. It is an embarrassment. It is so disappointing that a team as good as this, especially in the last couple of games, has been so good, so consistent, so it made us believe for the briefest of moments that this team was turning a corner. And then they do this, reminding us that the post-Christmas New Jersey Devils are alive and well. We were given hope, and that hope was extinguished like a flame. Calgary certainly got their flames reignited. Here's a little fun fact that I learned during the broadcast. Do you know the Devils, up until tonight, were 30-0-2 after leading after 2 periods of hockey? Well, I'll tell you what. It's no longer 30-0-2. It is 31-2. How do you manage to give up 4 unanswered goals in what feels like 10 minutes of hockey? Embarrassing. We're better than this. We know we're better than this. We have a decision here. If you're a New Jersey Devils player, you have a decision here. Okay? You want to make the playoffs? You want to be considered a contender and not a pretender? You cannot have games like this. You want to be considered a legitimate threat going into the playoffs? You cannot play like this. You want to be considered a legitimate threat to move into the second round after hopefully Carolina does not thrash our asses? Then you cannot play like this. They are better than this. We know they are better than this. And as fans, after tonight's game, it is our obligation not to just shit on the team and just get really angry, but to be like, hey, we deserve better than this. You are better than this. We hold you, the players, at a standard like this. You are the creme de la creme, the best of the best in the world playing this sport, making the money that you do. The standard is here. When you play down here, you deserve to hear that people are unhappy with your play. It's not just getting angry for angry's sake. It's not just getting pissed for pissed off sake. It's about saying, hey, you are better than this. You need to play better than this. We are going to hold you to the same standard that we hold every single other NHL player. To lower the bar, for us as fans, to lower the bar when this team loses and go, it's all right. Especially when it's a consistent level of bad play. When we lower that standard, we tell them, hey, it's okay to play like this. It's okay to let us down. It's okay to not give a shit. It's okay to stop trying. But we say, hey, you had a bad night, let's learn from it and move on. Because you pull this shit again, and I have been, over the last 2 years, I have been super charitable with this team. I have said, hey, we had a bad loss, let's move on and let's go to the next game. But this wasn't just a team that is good, that played well all 60 minutes and just got beat. This is a team which made an active decision to stop caring, to stop giving a shit. And if we let that pass, if we let that slide, what we tell the team is, hey, we're okay if you don't care. Hey, we're okay if you don't give a shit. Hey, we don't care. It doesn't bother us if you give us subpar performances that we know for a fact that you are better than. They send the message to us that they don't care, and we send the message back to them saying we don't care if you don't care. Now, what needs to happen is this. We've got a game on Saturday. Keefe needs to come down hard. He needs to go in that locker room and he needs to say, hey, you guys played like shit. We're going to have a frank and honest discussion about how we move forward, and then we move forward. We're not going to sweep it under the rug this close to the playoffs, because, by the way, if you think for a second that Carolina or any team making the playoffs right now isn't eyeing their first-round opponents like last 10 games of the season, then you are outside your mind. Carolina can smell blood in the water. Carolina knows that if tonight's Devils play them in the first round, you're gone in 4. You're gone in 4. Because Carolina is going to seize on all of that weakness. They're going to seize on all of that crappy play, and they're going to turn it right around to their advantage. The Devils need to come out next game. Come out hard, come out physical, come out fast, and they need to do this for 60 minutes. Because if they don't, then they might as well not be in the playoffs. Because last time I checked, the goal for this team wasn't making the playoffs. The goal for this team wasn't making it to the second round. Or hell, even the Eastern Conference Final isn't the goal. The goal is to win a Stanley Cup. The goal is to be the best team in the world. And you play like the way you did tonight, and you don't deserve a cup. You don't deserve to be the kings of the Eastern Conference. You don't deserve to make the playoffs. Play better or don't bother. Just say we're done. We're done. I don't believe this team is done. I have never once thought this team is done. But when they play like shit, the fans got to say, you played like shit. You grow, you be better after games like this, and then you move on. You move on after learning a lesson. You don't move on after not acknowledging that you screwed up. And they did. They screwed up in a major way. So, that's going to be it for me. We'll see what happens with the game on Saturday. We'll see what happens in the next game or two. It will be interesting to see which direction the Devils decide to lean in. It'll be interesting to see what Devils team goes out on the ice. And we'll sort of see what happens here. I know the Devils are better. We all know the Devils are better. So let's hope next game that they come out and they show us that they are indeed the better team. With that, we're going to call it a night. Take it easy. And I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.